Hello and welcome to Columbia College. My name is Samantha Davis and I will be walking you through your new hire orientation today. Just note that you can pause this video at any time. We will start with a brief overview of Columbia College. We were founded in 1851, originally known as Christian Female College. We have 36 nationwide locations that are located in 13 states from coast to coast. We serve over 29,000 students annually. And then we also have 900 plus full-time employees and 70 plus full-time faculty. This does not include our adjuncts, part-time employees, or our student employees as well. So first things first, you should have a packet already printed off that contains the new hire paperwork that I will be walking you through today on how to complete. If you do not have this packet, please pause this video and talk to your supervisor so you can get it printed off. Next is the Form I-9. This is just making sure that you are authorized to work in the United States. So you're going to complete Section 1, check whichever box applies, and then sign a date about 3/4 of the way down the page. All the fields that you will need to complete are highlighted to kind of give you a reference for that as well. You must provide original documentation for this. Most people provide either their U.S. passport or driver's license and social security card. There are other documents that you can use for this as well. You can see page 9 in that document for the list of other acceptable documents. Next is the federal W-4. Same for the I-9. All the fields that are in yellow you will need to complete. Complete line 6 if you want an additional amount withheld. Some people do, some people don't. It's totally up to you. At any time you can change the status of this form, so just kind of for a quick tip, on this form you can claim whatever you want, but when you actually go to file your taxes you have to claim what the exact case is. Another little tip is if you claim 0, the most taxes will be taken out of the paycheck potentially, where if you claim 1, a little less taxes are taken out, 2, a little less, so on and so forth. Next is the state W-4. This does vary from state to state. Some states require it, some states don't. So you'll see kind of the Missouri one on here. It's basically some of the same, very similar fields that you will see on your state W-4, but just talk to your supervisor if the state W-4 isn't in your packet and you know that you have one. Next is the direct deposit. This is optional, but it is highly encouraged. So again, fields that are highlighted, you'll need to complete those, and you will need to provide verification of both the routing and account number. This can either be a voided check, a letter from your bank that has the account and routing number. They can either email or fax that, or a screenshot from online banking will suffice as well. If you close your account, please let us know immediately so we don't try to deposit your check and then on that Friday come to find out that you didn't get paid, etc. So just keep us in the loop on that. If at any time you need to change your direct deposit information, that's perfectly fine. This form will need to be completed, and then you'll need to provide verification for that bank account as well. All right, so next is the personal information form. This one is a pretty basic information, just ethnicity, race, gender, etc. So you'll just complete the highlighted fields on here. Next will be the emergency contact. On here, please provide at least one emergency contact. You can provide 2, but at least provide 1 just in case something were to happen. Hopefully nothing does, but we have that one person that you would like us to contact. And same thing applies, just those highlighted fields are the ones that you'll need to complete. Next is the photo and video release form. You'll just kind of read through this, then print, sign, and date. Phone and email are optional on this, so just kind of a FYI for that. Next will be the confidentiality agreement. You'll just read through this, then print, sign, and date. Same thing, highlighted fields will need to be filled out. Next is Emma. This is a time clock system that hourly employees use to clock in and clock out. If you are salary, you won't really use the system unless you supervise hourly employees too much, and we'll send you a PIN and all that information if that situation does apply to you. If you are hourly, you'll just select your name, enter your password, which is going to be your employee ID number. If you do not have that information at this moment, that's perfectly fine. Just ask your supervisor. They can get you that information, and eventually you'll know that ID number by heart. From there, you're just going to select the reason that you are clocking in or clocking out. So, example from the hourly aspect for a complete day, you'll clock in when you get there, you'll clock out for lunch, clock back in when you get back from lunch, and then clock out at the end of the day. If you do forget to clock in or out, just go ahead and clock in or out whenever you realize that, and let your supervisor know so they can make the appropriate correction. It is better to have a wrong time in there than no time at all, just from the payroll aspect. All right, so next is sick leave. There is no paid sick leave that is earned during that new employee introductory period, which is your first 90 days or 3 months, however you want to look at that. Once you have completely gone through that introductory period, you can use any sick time that you have accrued up to that point. So even though you can't use it, you are still actually accruing it. All full-time employees do earn 1 day or 8 hours of leave per month for a total of 12 days per fiscal year, which runs from July 1st through June 30th. Your maximum accrual for this is 90 days, which typically within your first year, you're not going to hit that max accrual, so no need to worry about that. Just know that there is that max accrual. Next is vacation. Same thing applies, just you can't use any vacation during your new employee introductory period, which is your first 90 days or 3 months. You are still accruing it though, so after that 3 months, you have all that vacation time to use. If you are a salary person, you qualify as administrative staff and you earn 20 days or 160 hours of vacation per fiscal year. If you are an hourly person, you qualify for the support staff, so you earn 10 days or 80 hours of vacation per fiscal year. You can carry over that one-time annual accrual. Again, within that first year, you're really most likely not going to hit that max accrual, so no need to worry about that. Next is holidays. These are the holidays that we do recognize. For Christmas and New Year's, I just kind of want to make a note of that. There are no designated holidays for these two. That same week, you will receive 2 floating holidays that's added to that employee leave bank, which is an EMMA. So if you don't use those holidays around that time, you potentially have those 4 floating holidays to use at some other point. If you are hourly, you do get a birthday day off to use within your birthday month. This is only for hourly employees. In addition, whether you're hourly or salary, you do get a floating holiday as well. So potentially you can have up to 5 floating holidays in your leave bank, essentially. Next is the employee educational grant. So once you've been with us for a continuous 6 months of employment, you can take undergraduate classes for at reduction cost. If they are in-state, they are 100% completely free. If it's an online class, it's at a rate of 25% of tuition that you're actually going to pay. A payment plan is required for this. Just note that spouse, domestic partner, and children do qualify for the employee educational grant. Without tuition charge, same thing applies. Next is the graduate educational grant. So once you've been with us for 1 year of continuous employment, you can take grad classes, no matter if they are in-seat or online. It's just at a reduction rate of 75%, so you'll pay the remaining 25% of the tuition. Just note that both for the graduate educational grant and the EEG, that is just for tuition only, so textbooks, school supplies, anything like that is still on you, the employee. Spouse, domestic partner, and dependents do not qualify for the GEG, only for the EEG, so just kind of keep that in mind. Tuition exchange. If for some reason you have a dependent who hates Columbia College for whatever reason, we do have some partner schools that sometimes we can intertwine where this dependent can go to school for free or at a reduction cost. The 2 websites that you see on the screen are really beneficial websites. You can always check those out. Patty Fisher, she's the executive director of HR. She's really the one that kind of houses this. So if you ever have any questions, you can direct them to her, or you can just call or email HR and we can get you connected to her as well. Retirement. So we do have retirement. We do have a 403B, which is really the same as the 401k, but since we're a nonprofit organization, it's just set up a little bit differently. Eligibility for this, just complete 1 year of service to the college, be at least 21, and work at least 1,000 hours or more per year. Your eligibility date will be the first quarter after you've been here for 1 year. So say, for example, you started June 30th, that July 1st of the following year, you would be eligible for the college's retirement. Currently, they contribute 8% of annual eligible wages to the retirement plan. Each year you vest at 20%, and once you've been with the college for a full 6 years, you're fully vested in the college's retirement. Just note that even though you don't get the college's portion of the retirement until the following quarter after you've been here 1 year, you can still start to self-contribute today if you wanted to. If you're interested in that, just contact Andy Monning. He is an HR coordinator. He's the one that kind of handles all the retirement information. Alright, so next is training. There are 3 videos that you will need to watch from the compliance standpoint. I will kind of give you a heads up. They are not the most fun videos. They do take around 1 hour, so you don't have to complete them all in one setting. If you want to pause in between, you are more than welcome to do that. Once finished, you will complete the training acknowledgement form, which will just be checking those 3 boxes off saying that you've completed those, and then sign in date. And then the last bullet for Title IX and the harassment training, that will be sent to you via email on Friday from Workplace Answers. With that one, you do have 30 days to complete, so no need to rush on that. Typically, it takes people around 45 minutes to complete that one, but like the other trainings, you can kind of pause in between and just kind of pick up where you left off.
Welcome to Columbia College. This video will walk you through your new employee technology training. In this training, we will discuss the mission of technology services, what technology services has to offer faculty and staff at the college, using your Cougar Track account, working with email and Microsoft Outlook, network drives and associated policies, how to get help, and where to go for training opportunities. The primary mission of technology services is to assist and enhance the learning experience and administrative operations at Columbia College through the development and use of technology. We do this through several processes, including supporting several services, the administrative database, email, internet access, campus telephones, cable television, and personal hardware and software support. Technology Services offers several services for collaboration among faculty and staff. A webinar, short for web conference, is used to conduct live presentations over the internet. Columbia College uses Blackboard Collaborate, a product similar to Skype or GoToMeeting, for anyone who would like to conduct a remote meeting, collaborate on a document, or see participants and share information over the internet. Video conferencing equipment is available in Williams 104, Federal Hall, at the Lake of the Ozark campus, and for ad hoc meetings. Life-size video conferencing allows a quality, face-to-face conversation over the internet and can extend a meeting or a class across distance for the feeling of being in person. Use Custom Guide online learning modules, interactive learning modules providing access to thousands of bite-sized lessons to answer your how-to questions on many software applications, including Microsoft Office. These sessions are very short, generally 2 to 3 minutes, and are geared towards very specific tasks within each software application. Columbia College also uses the Lecture Capture software media site to post presentations and training videos online. A media site presentation may be viewed at your own computer anywhere you have internet access. Currently, customer service training, software training, and recording of special events can be viewed at ondemand.ccis.edu. Make sure you remember to click Login in the top right corner. The main portal for all Columbia College constituencies is called Cougar Track. Cougar Track is a one-stop shop for important information related to your Columbia College experience. Using integrated login management tools, Cougar Track allows you the ability to use the same username and password for your computer login, access to the wireless network, use of shared and personal network drives, your Columbia College email account, and DataTel Colleague. Before you may log into your computer, set up your email, access network drives, or log into DataTel Colleague, you will need to set up your Cougar Track account. To do so, navigate to cougartrack.ccis.edu. In the navigation pane on the left, click Activate Your Login under the Login Management heading. Enter your college ID number, your first and last name, and your date of birth. Be sure your date of birth is entered in the format shown on this screen. Click Next. Create a secret question. Enter and confirm the answer. Click Submit. Enter and confirm a password that meets the following requirements: at least 8 characters in length, contains at least 2 letters, contains at least 2 numbers, contains no special characters. Click Finish. Your Columbia College username and email address will display on the screen. You will use this username and the password you just created to log into the majority of your Columbia College accounts, including CougarTrack, your email, your computer, and DataTel Colleague. Once logged into CougarTrack, you will notice under the logo, CougarTrack features drop-down menus that contain additional information related to faculty and staff, students, financials, and academics. What you see on the screen now is referred to as the CougarTrack homepage. There is a different homepage for faculty and staff, students, applicants, and alumni. Each homepage contains targeted web parts for quick and easy access. The My Week web part provides a quick look at your Outlook calendar and any upcoming appointments or tasks. The Outlook Webmail web part gives them easy access to Outlook web app. The Important Announcements, and Newsroom web parts provide important communication from campus offices. The Password Maintenance web part allows users to update and change their password. The CC Links web part provides instant access to important items like documentation, pay advices, and your leave plan. The second tab, Web Systems, gives easy access to systems such as DataTel Colleague. Here is a view of a student homepage in CougarTrack. Students use CougarTrack in a manner very similar to that of staff and faculty. The My Week web part provides information about the student's course schedule. The CougarMail web part provides quick access to student email accounts. The Announcements web part contains important communication from campus offices. The Newsroom and CougarLink web parts provide information related to campus activities. The Desire to Learn web part provides easy access to Desire to Learn, Columbia College's online course platform. Students use the CC Links web part to register for courses, view their degree audits, for information regarding payments, and for other important administrative functions. Staff and faculty at Columbia College use Microsoft Exchange via Microsoft Outlook to receive email. This allows for easier communication between faculty members and campus offices. Microsoft Outlook is installed on your work computer for ease of access. Your email address is yourusername@ccis.edu. Outlook Web Access, OWA, sometimes referred to as webmail, is available to staff anywhere they have internet access. OWA can be accessed at mymail.ccis.edu. Students and adjunct faculty at Columbia College use CougarMail email accounts, a Gmail service. Full-time faculty and staff often request access to CougarMail accounts in order to easily communicate with students and to receive access to the Google Apps for Education suite. It is common practice for users to forward CougarMail to Microsoft Outlook. This email address is yourusername@cougars.ccis.edu. For assistance in setting up your Microsoft Exchange or CougarMail account on your mobile devices, contact the Technology Solutions Center. The first time you use Microsoft Outlook on your work computer, you will be required to configure it. The screen will look very similar to what you see here with a Welcome to Outlook 2013 message displayed. In this box, choose Next. Next, you will see a confirmation message that you intend to use Outlook to connect to an email account. Ensure that the radio option Yes is selected and then choose Next. If you're logged into the computer using your Columbia College credentials, many of the fields in this screen will auto-populate. In this case, I'll go ahead and enter the information. After you've entered your credentials here, choose Next. Once Outlook has been able to establish a network connection and verify your credentials, it will log you onto the mail server. Congratulations! Your email account is successfully configured and ready to use. Select Finish to open Microsoft Outlook. Once you have completed your initial Outlook configuration, you may begin sending and receiving email. Finding ways to communicate with others across the college has become greatly enhanced by the use of the global address list. which provides contact information for all Columbia College users with Microsoft Exchange email accounts. To access the global address list, begin by composing an email by clicking on the New Email from the Home tab in the ribbon. In the Untitled Message dialog box, click To. The global address list will display. From here, double-click the name of the Columbia College employee to whom you would like to send the email. Click OK to insert these addresses into the To field of your new email. Columbia College's email retention policy applies to all accounts ending in @ccis.edu, including faculty, staff, and generic mailboxes. The email retention policy contains 4 parts. Part 1. Deleted items. The college does not retain items in the deleted items folder for longer than 30 days. Email that has been housed in the deleted items folder for 30 days will automatically be deleted. Part 2. Online archiving. Columbia College uses a new hassle-free way of archiving emails. Exchange will automatically move messages older than 1 year out of the current inbox structure into a new structure called Online Archive, which is fully accessible through the Outlook client and Outlook Web Access. Messages will be retained in the online archive until they are 5 years old. Part 3. Mailbox size. Exchange mailboxes at the college are limited to 2 gigabytes in size. Users will receive a warning when their mailbox reaches this size. Messages in the online archive are not included in this size calculation. Part 4. Email retention. Columbia College does not retain email older than 5 years. Any email older than 5 years will be removed from the online archive and deleted from the server. For more information about the email retention policy, please see the staff handbook. In addition to giving you access to email, your @ccis.edu email account also gives you access to a calendar via Microsoft Outlook. This calendar is the primary means for determining your availability amongst the college. Outlook organizes calendar appointments into 2 categories, appointments and events. When a meeting is scheduled for less than a full workday, it is treated as an appointment. When a meeting is scheduled for the full workday, it is treated as an event. When you create an appointment in Outlook, your availability is automatically set to busy. However, events are automatically set to free. You can update an item on your calendar at any time to accurately reflect your availability. It is important to keep your Outlook calendar up to date for ease of scheduling around campus. For additional information regarding using the calendar in Microsoft Outlook, please visit ondemand.ccis.edu. Network drives are the recommended location for saving information regarding your position at the college. Network drives are not to be used to store music files, picture or movie files, games, or any other media files associated with entertainment unless there is a specific business use for the file. In My Computer, you will find a list of Columbia College's network drives. The iDrive is your personal home directory for work-related items. The Z Drive is a shared directory, usually for departments on the main campus. The T Drive is a shared directory, typically used for AHE campuses. The W Drive is an open share for temporary storage that is available to everyone. Be sure not to put any confidential information on this drive. The W Drive is wiped every Sunday, so be sure that you are using it as a temporary storage location. The computing resources at Columbia College support the academic and administrative activities of the college. Use of resources for academic and administrative objectives takes precedence over personal reasons. Use of any Columbia College computing resources are considered a privilege, and all users are expected to adhere to the following acceptable use policy. This policy applies to any person or organization utilizing Columbia College computing resources. All users of college computing resources must adhere to the following. Ensure the security and confidentiality of all college data and information. College technology resources shall not be used for commercial purposes unless authorized by the college. It is prohibited to use college computing systems network resources to store, access, or send material that is obscene, illegal, discriminating, or intended to defame or harass others, or to interfere with their work on the computer. Computing system and network resources include, but are not limited to, all computers, networks, voice, video, email, and other applications. It is prohibited to share CC login credentials with others. All users are responsible for activities carried out with the use of their credentials. Comply with all college policies. Comply with all federal, state, and other acceptable laws, including copyright regulations. Intentional unauthorized use is prohibited, including any modification or disruption to computing resources and systems. Use of any Columbia College computing resource constitutes full acceptance of the terms and conditions of college policies, including the investigation and/or monitoring of employee electronic communications or files policy. Violations of the terms and conditions of this policy could result in revocation of system privileges and may result in further disciplinary actions up to and including immediate student dismissal and employee termination from the college. Columbia College reserves the right to change this policy without notice. The Technology Solutions Center is here to help with any of your technology needs, both over the phone and with walk-in hours. To reserve services, request audio-visual needs, get support for hardware or software, or for help accessing any of your accounts, contact the Technology Solutions Center by phone, by dialing HELP from your office phone or off campus at 1-800-231-2391, extension 4357. You may also email cchthelpdesk@ccis.edu or use our self-service portal at help.ccis.edu. Each month, Technology Services offers both in-seat trainings and online training offered via web conference. All participants need is a computer with speakers. Training offerings are posted in Cougar Track announcements. To sign up for training, visit training.ccis.edu. Also, check out our website for more information about upcoming trainings, archives of tech tips, and documentation related to college technology. You can find our website at www.ccis.edu/tech-training. Feel free to contact the Technology Solutions Center with any questions you may have regarding this video or any other technology needs. Once again, welcome to Columbia College. We wish you the best.
Hi, the purpose of this training is to increase your knowledge of security threats, how to prevent them, and where to find more information. One of the most important things to remember is that Technology Services will never ask you for your password, and you should never share your password with anyone. Why, you may ask? With your Columbia College password, an attacker could gain access to the network and attack others on your behalf. The attacker could also access college resources you have permission to use, such as student records from Colleague, applicant applications from OnBase, reports from WebFocus, and even your Columbia College email. In short, if someone gets your password, they are you. Social engineering is the practice of obtaining confidential information by manipulating a person. It is commonly used via the telephone or internet to trick a person into revealing sensitive information. For example, someone representing an outside agency may call up a Columbia College staff member and ask for confidential information about a student or employee. So how do we prevent social engineering? The first thing is to tell the requester you will have to check with your supervisor before releasing information. Never give out your password or any confidential information over the phone or via email. The reason social engineering works so well is because it plays on our natural desire to trust others. Here at Columbia College, we are all trained in customer service, but we also need to be part of the security process. Phishing is an identity theft scam that usually arrives via email. The email appears to come from a legitimate source and includes an urgent request for personal information. Clicking on a link provided in the email leads to an official-looking website where any personal information provided goes directly to the attacker and not to a legitimate organization. Be wary of emails asking for confidential information, especially of a financial nature. financial institutions, and other reputable companies do not request sensitive information via email. Here is an example of a phishing email. The from line should be coming from Tech Services, and the last part of the email address should be at ccis.edu. The signature line says CCIS IT staff instead of Technology Services or the Solution Center. If you still don't know if an email is a phishing email or not, you can always contact the Solution Center for help. Here's another phishing email. It asks the recipient to click on a link and enter their information onto a web form. If you hover over the link with your mouse, you can determine where the link is going to. It is going to a website with the name tiiii.eu, which is a website in the European Union and is not a legitimate banking website. The next thing we are going to talk about is malware. Malware is a generic term for software which is installed on your computer and performs an unwanted action. A few examples of malware include viruses, worms, trojans, adware, and spyware. How to avoid malware? Don't open any attachment you are not expecting or unsolicited email advertisements. Don't click on suspicious links in email. Make sure you have antivirus software and that the definitions are up to date. And think before you click. The next thing we are going to talk about is restricted data. Restricted data is data that could cause significant harm to Columbia College or the campus community if it were used inappropriately or disclosed after unauthorized access or loss. So what are some examples of restricted data? Social Security card numbers, credit card numbers, grades, bank account numbers, college ID numbers, payment history, financial aid, student bills, passwords, salary information, performance reviews, donor information, and health and medical records. How do I protect restricted data? Limit access to lists and reports with restricted data. Never store restricted data on laptops or home computers. Save and store restricted data on a network drive managed by Technology Services, such as the iDrive or the X Drive. Never copy restricted data to CDs, USB drives, or other portable storage devices. Do not put restricted information on the web. Lock printed materials with restricted data in drawers and cabinets. Don't email restricted data, and when finished printing restricted material, shred it. There are several laws and regulations that have to deal with safeguarding information: FERPA, HIPAA, GLBA, and PCI. Non-compliance with these laws and regulations could lead to fines, civil or criminal liability, and even jail time. If a data breach occurs, it could harm the institution's reputation. More details about specific laws and regulations will be provided by your department. Here is a list of security best practices. Never share your password. Lock your office door and file cabinets when you leave the office. Always remember to retrieve your documents from printers, copy machines, and fax machines. Store work-related documents on a network drive. Don't store restricted data on portable devices such as USB drives. And lock the computer when you step away from your desk. For more information, please visit the Columbia College Cougar Security website at ccis.edu/Cougar Security.
All right, so now we're going to get into benefit information. I'm going to rattle off a whole bunch of information, but at the end of this presentation, we will be sending you a recap email out, so you can just directly reply to that email if you have any additional questions, because most people have questions when they kind of start filling out this paperwork, so no worries there. All right, so this is the benefit elections form. All you'll really need to do on this one is just complete name. Date of change will be the date. Typically, they'll start on the first of the following month that you start. So, for example, if you start June 29th, your benefits would take effect July 1st. If you start, September 2nd, those benefits would take effect October 1st. The qualifying event is going to be that you are a new hire. The premiums that you see listed on the screen, so say for example for health insurance for the base plan, it's $105 per month. And the high deductible health plan, this is $5 per month. So benefits are taken out 2 times per month. So going back to that high deductible health plan, it's $5 a month, so it'd be $250 that's taken out of each check. The Guardian Worksite voluntary benefits, you don't see any premiums listed there, but there are additional costs with that. And there's going to be a summary packet that you'll receive as well that will have all that information in that. So just to kind of recap on this benefit elections form, you'll just select whichever benefits that you want, and then you'll just print, sign, and date at the bottom. Before we get into the going over the application for United Healthcare, we do have 2 different insurance plans for the health insurance. We have the base plan, and then we have the high deductible health plan. So I'm going to start with the base plan first. So this one is kind of that more traditional plan. So I'm just going to use employee only numbers for this, but employee only has a $500 deductible. So once you've met that deductible, insurance pays 80%, you pay the remaining 20%. That one is pretty straightforward. The high deductible health plan has a little bit more to it. With this one, again, employee only numbers, you have a $2,000 deductible, so it's a pretty big difference from the base plan at $500. However, note that those premiums for that as well. So the base plan is $105 per month. The high deductible health plan is only $5 a month. So there's a $100 difference in premiums each month in addition to that. So with the high deductible health plan, it is that higher deductible, but you are paying a lower premium for that. Once you've met that deductible, insurance pays everything at 100% except for prescriptions, and then that kind of goes into a tier effect. In addition to the high deductible health plan, there is going to be a expanded drug list that we provide you as well. So if you take any medications, I highly encourage you to look at that list, because if your medication is on that list, those medications are completely free 100%. That is only with the high deductible health plan though. So if you look at that and you're like, oh, hey, my medicine's free, but you actually sign up for the base plan, you are going to have to pay for that. So just kind of keep that in mind. In addition, with the high deductible health plan, you also have the option to enroll in a health savings account, and we'll kind of get into more detail about that a little bit later on in this presentation. All right, so this is the United Healthcare application. On this first page is just basic information that you'll need to complete about yourself. On this second page, it's just family information. So if you are going to be adding any dependents, you'll just write that information in there. For Section C, product selection, for United Healthcare, this is only for medical only, so you'll just select that box if you are enrolling in the health insurance. If you're not, then you will decline on this following page. That will be Section E, waiver of coverage. You'll just select whichever box applies and then initial and date over to the right, and then you'll sign and date at the bottom. With United Healthcare, you will get insurance cards mailed out to you. So typically once I get your paperwork, I try to process it the same day or the next day. And then from that, within 7 to 10 business days, you should have those insurance cards in the mail. If not, you can just let me know and I can kind of get you that information that you'll need if you have a doctor's visit scheduled, etc. Next is the Guardian application. On this one, this form is a little bit more tedious than the United Healthcare application, but on this first page, you'll just put basic information about yourself, your job, and then any dependents that you will be adding. On the second page is where it gets a little bit more tedious. So, for example, starting with dental coverage, say you want that for yourself, so you'll select that employee only box. Next is vision. Say, your eyes are perfectly fine, you don't see any changes, you don't want this at that time, you will need to select that I do not want this coverage. For each and every benefit, there needs to be a box that is selected. If for some reason it is not selected, you will receive an email from me, just kind of a follow-up saying, hey, do you want this or do you not? Next is the basic life coverage. This is at no cost to you at 2 times your annual salary of up to $250,000. You will need to include at least one beneficiary in this information. God forbid anything happened to you, but just in case, we know where you would want that money to go. In addition to that, if you want voluntary term life, you're more than welcome to do so. There's a guaranteed amount for employee only of $150,000, guaranteed amount for spouse of $50,000, and then guaranteed amount for a child for $10,000. So you don't have to do any voluntary term life if you don't want to. If you just want that basic life, that is perfectly fine. If you go over that guaranteed amount, so say for example you want more than $150,000 for yourself, there is an additional form they'll need to complete, and I'll go over that here in just a little bit. So on this next page, that's where you'll see the dependents up at the top, and then just beneficiary information there. Next is short-term disability. So if this is something that you're interested in, there's a weekly benefit amount. Just note that that is a weekly benefit if something were to happen to you. It cannot exceed 60% of your weekly salary. So there's going to be a chart in that Guardian summary packet that you should have received. If not, just feel free to give me an email, phone call, anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to take that information. So say, for example, that you make, on average, you bring home that $200 a week. You cannot select a $300 a week amount. You can only do that $200. But say, for example, you make on average $400 a week, and this is all based on your salary. You can elect that $300 if you want to, but you can't select that $500. So you can only elect what you actually qualify for, or if it's a little bit less than what you do, you just can't do more than what you actually make. Long-term disability, this is at no cost to you. The college provides this to you. It's just 60% of your salary to a maximum of $7,500, and that is, again, that monthly benefit. Critical illness, so same thing kind of applies like short-term disability. You'll just kind of figure out what you do or don't want. The charts that are in that Guardian summary packet, those are the semi-monthly costs, so just kind of keep that in mind on that benefit elections form that we went over first. Those were the monthly costs, where in the Guardian summary packet, those are the semi-monthly ones, so just kind of an FYI for that. If you do select critical illness, there are additional questions that you will need to answer. They're not too invasive, so just select those. Accident, if you're interested in this, just select whichever box applies. Put beneficiary information, read the bullets, and then sign and date at the bottom. So that completes kind of the first part of that Guardian application. The next is the evidence of insurability form. So this is only complete, you will only complete this form if you are going over that guaranteed voluntary life amount of either the $150,000 for employee, $50,000 for spouse. Everything on this first page will need to be completed. There is kind of no way around that or easy way of, oh, you only had to fill out these blanks. Everything on here needs to be completed. On the second page, this is only if you answer yes to the questions 1 through 5. If you don't, then you won't have to complete that, but if you do, just make sure to complete that as accurately as possible. You'll read through this page, and then you'll sign in date on the last page. So that one's not too bad, and that's only if you're going over that guaranteed amount for voluntary term life. If not, you don't have to worry about those pages to complete. Next is the health savings account. So if you enroll in the high deductible health plan, you do have the option to enroll in a health savings account. You will need to set this account up through a bank of your choice. We don't tell you which bank to go to. Just kind of note that some banks do have setup fees, monthly maintenance fees, and then fees if you do close it before a certain time frame. So just kind of keep that in mind when setting those accounts up. Columbia College contributes $1,000 annually. This is not like a one-time contribution from Columbia College of $1,000. It's just annually. So it'll be $38.47 every 2 weeks that they put into that HSA for you. If you want to personally contribute, you are more than welcome to do so, and you can change that amount at any time. So say, for example, your first 6 months you don't want to contribute, and then you get your first doctor bill, and you're like, man, I really wish I would have been contributing. At that time, you can start contributing. If you want to change this every single pay period, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So on the actual form, you'll just put name, your personal contribution, the bank name, and then the routing and account number, and then sign and date. You will need to provide verification for this as well, just like direct deposit. So this can be either a voided check. A lot of HSAs don't issue voided checks, but some of them do. Bank can give you a letter that has that account and routing number on it, or you can do kind of a screenshot of online banking with that routing and account number as well. So either way is fine. We just need some type of verification for that. All right, so next is flexible spending account. If you are interested in this, you'll just fill out this form and then turn it in to me, and I'll send it to ASI, and they can kind of process it from there. But what this is an FSA. You can use it for medical expenses. You can also use it for dependent care. I see more people typically use it for dependent care than for medical expenses, but you can do it for both. Just kind of a note, there is no rollover, so you either use it or lose it. So kind of explaining that a little bit further, say for example, you elect $1,000 that you put in, and come December 30th, you've only used $500 of that. You have 1 day to use $500, otherwise all that money is gone. With the HSA that we just kind of talked about, that money is yours to use at any time. So even if you were to leave the college, any money that is in that HSA account, that is completely yours. It doesn't go back to the college or anything like that. So that's kind of the differences between the HSA and the FSA. Again, like I said in the very beginning of all this benefit information, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. The COBRA form, this is a pretty basic form. You'll just complete your name, address, check whichever box applies, and then the effective date of the insurance. You will receive a notice in the mail from Infinite Source, and this is just kind of, if you were to leave Columbia College for any given reason, I hope that you never ever leave Columbia College, but if you were, you still have the option to continue those benefits through COBRA based on your elections that you have already made. So say, for example, you have health insurance and dental insurance. You still have the option to continue to have the health insurance and dental insurance through CC. Just note that you're going to be paying the full premium at that time, so it's going to be a little bit more pricier, but it is still an option. So just to kind of recap, we've went over the health insurance, dental, vision, short-term disability, critical illness, accident coverage through Guardian, and then the basic life LTD, and then basic AD&D is through Guardian, and all of those are provided by Columbia College. So those three benefits listed are at no cost to you. You will be receiving a lot of information about all of this. There's going to be a summary, so it'll kind of go a little bit more in depth of what it covers, what it doesn't, etc. But again, any questions, just feel free to ask me. So just to kind of start to recap everything that we have covered, all new hire forms are to completed as soon as possible. If you need any help, again, please let us know. Benefits are due within 30 days of your start date, so just kind of keep that in mind. Even if you are waiving all of the insurance coverage that we have, you still need to turn in all that insurance paperwork, and that's just for the compliance standpoint. Just some ways to get involved. We do have SAC, which is Staff Association Advisory Council, so if you see any of these events kind of listed on the screen that interest you, definitely take advantage of those, and there's many more of these that we do. We just try to kind of get people a little bit motivated and participate in campus, and even if you aren't on the home campus here in Columbia, Missouri, you still are encouraged to participate in these events as well. For the PAWS program, this is Pride, Attitude, Willingness, and Service. If you see any coworker that's kind of going above and beyond that job description, you can nominate them. They earn coins, and potentially they can earn up to a half a day of vacation. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then we do have the employee giving campaign. So if you want to give a kind of a gift to CC, you are more than welcome to do so. You can do this at any time. So, say 3 months down the road, you're interested in contributing, $5 per pay period to CC. You're more than welcome to do that. If you just want to give a one-time donation of $20, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Just some additional information. I'm not really going to spend too much time on this because you will be receiving all of this information. But you will have a pay schedule. You'll have a list of all of our AC members, just in case you ever need to contact any of them. A phone reference sheet to kind of use our phones. They're pretty basic, but always a good reference. And then technology workshop opportunities that they do put on. So for technology assistance, if you ever need them, you can always contact them at the help desk. They are always very helpful, pretty fast to answer your questions, just depending on what the situation is. Some issues might take a little bit longer than others, but they are always very, very helpful, and will get you taken care of. So this is all of our human resources information. Like I said, my name is Samantha Davis. I'm the HR coordinator, so if you ever need me, feel free to email, give me a call, anything like that. And then all of our other staff members are listed. And if you ever need anything and you don't really know who the correct person is, you can email any of us and we'll get it to the appropriate person. So don't feel like, oh, I don't know who to contact, so I'm not going to ask. Please, please, please go ahead and ask. So for our website, there will be a link to SharePoint. With this, there's going to be a few other things that you will need to complete on your new hire checklist. Most of it is the benefit information, so you really won't have to worry too much about that. But if you have any questions, you can always contact me, or you can contact Mike Adams. He's the systems administrator. So if you ever have any tech issues from accessing that SharePoint site for the new hire checklist, you can always contact him. There will also be a survey that's sent out in this recap email. So we just encourage your feedback on how kind of the orientation process went for you, if there's anything that you think would be beneficial to add to orientation, take out of orientation, etc. So honest feedback is definitely appreciated in that. Just some ways to stay connected with CC. This is not just for HR, this is just CC in general. So Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then LinkedIn. And lastly, I just want to say thank you for choosing Columbia College. We are excited to have you here. And if you need anything, I will be sending out that recap email so you have all my direct contact information. And just don't hesitate to ask any questions at all. And I hope you have a great day.